Hello and welcome to the British Dapper, and today we're looking at the colour wheel for men. So if you like this outfit, then obviously you need a bit of help. The colour wheel is a good way of trying to work out what colours to wear, and it gives you a little bit more of a steer on what colours to use. Whilst I personally struggle with the colour wheel, as this outfit will show you, but the point being is that it will only be a guide. If you stick to it too religiously, it's very difficult for you to match your colours. So it's more a guide on the tones within certain colours to use and what complements each other. So to start with, let's look at the very simple basic colour wheel. So here you see a very basic colour wheel. Its primary colours you can see are red, blue and yellow. And there are a range of colours between those primary colours. So for example, you've got oranges and reds, and then you've got some purples and blues and shades of blue. Then it goes into greens, and then from the yellow again we're going back into oranges and reds. So from those three primary colours you could mix a combination of those and you'll get those range of colours in between, and that's basically how the colour wheel works. Now some colours complement each other very well, and in fact I would go so far as to say that it is contrasting as well. So that is the basic colour wheel to start with, and that's the one we're going to be using today. Now the idea is to try and work out there are different ways we can complement a particular colour, and so that's what we're going to look at today. Now what I would say is the colour wheel is not gospel, okay, and there are many shades within a particular colour as well. So it's just to give you a feel for what would be a good colour to complement or contrast another colour. The other thing you need to do is to consider the temper that you want to apply to an outfit. For example, the earlier outfit was quite harsh, bright reds, navy blue and white shirt, so quite harsh colours, but we could change those to a different colour red, maybe change the colour of the shirt to maybe a slightly off colour, for example an off-white or a slight pink or a light blue, and it changes the overall effect. Okay, so it's something to consider when you're pulling an ensemble together. So as you can see, there are two main spectrums, if you like, within the colour wheel, and that is warm and cool colours, and you can clearly see the divide here between the warm being the reds through to the very light greens, and the cools being from the very dark reds, purple area through to dark greens, and that is the cool section. So that's something to consider, because you will find a lot of the complementary colours are or contrast to each other because they are warm against cold, cold against warm. So that's how we play with the colours to get the right palette for the outfit you want. So when it comes to the primary colours of red, blue and yellow, this outfit takes on all three of the primary colours. You'll notice in the tie, shown up here, you can see that the tie has actually got some blues, reds and the yellows in the tie itself. So all we've had to do is complement that by picking up some of the similar colours in the pocket square. We've already got a navy suit on and the tie is quite red, so we've used a cream shirt rather than the white shirt to give it a little bit of a softer look, and also to pick up on the yellow hues in the actual tie and pocket square. And so this is a more subtle way of using the primary colours. If you use them in their extreme, it's quite harsh and quite a knocking set of colours to use. So the next one we need to move on to is those colours in between the primary colours. So in this case you can see they are oranges, a light purple and a green. So they're the secondary colours, and there are third ones as well, which is the third one down the line, the next one to it. So when it comes to secondary colours, this is where I tend to have a little bit of conflict with the colour chart, in that yes, I can wear the orange and I've got a green coloured waistcoat, purple trousers or another purple part of the outfit, not so sure. But with this, what I would say is not far from the purple colour in the spectrum is blue, and I think a pair of dark blue trousers would go really well with this outfit. So as I said before, don't take everything as gospel when it comes to the colour wheel. And remember, all these fashion designers, they're constantly challenging that colour wheel and putting things together that clash. So it's just getting that fine balance right. So here we have complementary colours on the wheel. So for example, blue suit and a yellow, almost orange coloured tie, and similar colours picked out in the pocket square. And so this would be considered a complementary colours scheme. This is a split complementary colour scheme. As you can see, there's a slight deviation, so you've got a little bit more gold and oranges mixed in. So it's very similar, very subtle changes. So here we have that ghastly tie again, and this time we're looking at multiple complementary colours. Now this tie has all of those three primary colours, the yellow, the orange and the slight green. So on the opposite side of that, you'll see that blue and into the purple spectrum complements this. I would say it actually contrasts it, but to try and make it work, we're using a blue suit, dark blue suit, picking up some of the colours in the pocket square that we have in the tie-ish, the roundabout way, and hopefully that, and change the shirt from a white shirt to a more off-white, a cream coloured shirt, to dull that down a little bit as well. So it's not something I would prefer to wear, and personally I think maybe this goes a little bit better with a grey suit. Let me know what you think. So here we have the same tie with a grey suit, and I feel that just does change it slightly. So it's a very awkward tie. I particularly picked this one because of its awkwardness to try and match anything with. So not to be confused with monochrome, there are within a particular colour a series of tones, of hues if you like, and you could just stick in one particular colour and just change all the different hues and you get a similar effect to this. For example, they're all in the blue range, but there are varying colours and patterns and textures. So monochrome is where we use one particular colour. For example, all black very powerful statement, but not really what we were looking for in the day-to-day wear. Black tends to be a colour that's used at night for evening events and formal events. So, and also the other extreme, white, being another monochrome colour. But there's a range in between that, they're not like a grey scale, and you can pick and match colours within that range and still get a very good look. For example, a grey suit, a white shirt and a black tie. So when it comes to the colour wheel, just take it a little bit with a pinch of salt, use it as a template, get your own tastes and your own viewpoint on it. Remember, you know, if you're trying to look your best, then it's not just a case of colour coordinations, it's also how it's put together. So for example, if you've got a heavily patterned suit, then don't wear heavily patterned ties and shirts or pocket squares. Keep it simple. And I always use, if there's some colour in the suit, pick some of the primary colours out of that, and that will give you an indication of what colours to use. For example, I've got a light blue shirt on and a burgundy tie because there's a burgundy stripe in the suit itself. So it does come together. It's still a little bit loud, but that comes down to personality, whether you want to wear it or not. So we hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. Hit the bell for the notifications if you'd like to know when our next video is coming out. And we always look forward to constructive comments. So if you'd like to leave a message down below, then please feel free to do so. You never know, it might end up in our next series of videos or our next video. So until next time, take care.